Ameen. 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 We're still talking about the explanation of Surah Al-Baqarah, and we have stopped where Allah Azza wa Jal said they're asking you about the wine and gambling. It has a lot of benefit and harm, and their harm are more than their benefit, and they ask you what to spend. Say forgiveness. This is how Allah is showing you the signs, so you might think and contemplate in the hereafter and this life. And before we talk about these statements, we started the month of April, and a lot of people have used outside this country and outside the Muslims and some Muslim countries with the lie of April Fools. And it became like a tradition, and it became something people are using. Well, people who are online, they could start anything they want. But in our religion, the Prophet ﷺ was asked, would the person could be master? He said yes. Would he be coward? He said yes. They said, can he be a liar? He said no. The believer cannot be a liar. The lying will lead to fujur, and that will lead to hellfire, and the person keep lying until he is written with the sight of Allah as a liar. When we are copying other cultures, we don't take except the worst of what they have. They have good characters too that you cannot deny, but we have looked away from the goodness that we could learn from them, and we only took the worst that they have. The Sheikh is reciting our poetry. And the poetry that the Sheikh is reciting, that it is about that we are taking only the worst of the West, and every time the West talk about April's Fool, we start all our life became April's Fool. They started the corruption, and we made it. We beat them in the lying. Now, to joke, there is nothing wrong with jokes, but it is, and they're saying when April happens, for joking, there is a fiqh understanding. We don't allow to be depressing, but actually it encourages you to be smiling if you're your brother, because that will be a good deed for you. But there is rules, there is guidance, there is control. First of all, you cannot be mocking the religion itself, or any religion, or the Quran, or the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ as part of joking. This is part of disbelief in Allah Azza wa Jal. The hypocrites, they beat at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, where they made fun of the reciters of the Quran, and they were the leaders of people, because reading was the best of combined with work. With the more they recite, the more he is worshipper to Allah, is more knowledgeable of Allah, and more believes to Allah. So the hypocrites, they start making fun of the reciter of the Quran by joking about them, just like the time of Egypt, when the media, they used to make jokes on the imams, and they said that, oh, we haven't seen someone worse than the worship of Allah. They are cowards whenever it comes to fighting. They are the first to go to eat, So after they start making jokes about the reciter and memorizing of the Quran, they thought, okay, well, we are afraid that the Quran will come down on them. So they wanted to go to apologize to Rasulullah. So they rushed to him. They said, we were to making joke, trying to kill time. So Allah told them, and if you ask them, they will say, we were just playing and joking. He said, with Allah, you're mocking Allah and His signs and His messenger, you are making fun of. Do not apologize. You have disbelieved after your faith. So this is the first that we start in the joking. That should not be sarcastic of the religion. Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah said that to mock Allah and His signs and His Quran and His messenger, it is disbelief that people will take them out of Islam. Also, if the joke is about something, is the Prophet ﷺ doom the person who want to make people laugh, and it is all lies, he might be thrown in the hellfire further than the Thuraya, mean the heaven. And also, you should not make a person scare someone. Someone said that the companion of the Prophet ﷺ said they were with the Prophet ﷺ one time. So one of them slept. So someone took a rope and joked to him like it is a snake and scared him. The Prophet ﷺ said it is not the right of a Muslim to scare another Muslim. Another thing, that joke should not mock others or make fun of other people, because Allah said, oh, you believe, do not make fun of other people, they might be better than them, nor woman with another woman, they might be better than them. And do not be sarcastic of each other, do not call each other names. The worst nickname after faith, after embracing faith. The Prophet ﷺ said it is enough to humiliate another Muslim, meaning is doomed a person who does it. Also, the joke should be something like salt to food, like it might be good. Umar ibn al-Aziz used to say, stay away from joking, because it is a foolish that bring hatred, like when you make fun of somebody. And when somebody say, oh, the Prophet ﷺ allowed Aisha to look at people dancing, that's fine. It is something like every once in a while, but not to make it your whole time just to watch this kind of stuff. And Mubarak Furi said the Prophet ﷺ used to do it seldomly to make people feel good. It is the sunnah when it is done with the right amount, when your joke with a little bit to enlighten the atmosphere is fine, but to make it the whole thing is a joke. And the poetry the Sheikh is reciting is, if you want to joke, just like you put a little bit of salt on food, you don't make the food salt, it'll be too salty, nobody will accept it. So you need to be little on your joke, because this will bring the foolish people on you, and to completely abandon it, make people stay away from you. Also, from the rules, to give everybody his status. Like when you joke with the elder person, not like joking with the young person. And it has to be something that's going to be accepted and not to be rejected by people. Also, cannot include backbiting. So you need to find the right time for joking. The companions of the Prophet ﷺ used to joke with the watermelon, but at the time of seriousness, they are men. Umar used to say that a person, it is good for the man to be like a child with his family, with his wife, being joking, accepting everything, obeying everything, but when it's time for serious matter, he is the man. It is a sunnah to joke for those who do it right and put it in its place on this time. Ibn Umar was asked, was the companions of the Prophet ﷺ joke or laugh? He said yes. And the faith in their heart like the mountains. This is something, Mother, we want to discuss before we go to the translation of the Quran. Please be patient with so we could live with this ayah when they ask you about the alcohol and gambling. This is one stage of forbidden the alcohol. The Arab used to be tested with the drinking of alcohol. Most of their poetry was about alcohol, and they used to drink it all the time. They would be intoxicated all the time. Something that was embedded in their heart. To take it out of them, so Islam came in with wisdom to take it out of their lives little by little. Allah said that you are taken from the fruits, you taken intoxication and good sustenance. He didn't describe the one as good, but the sustenance good. So the intoxication is not a good thing. So the first hint that God is given in the way that He discussed about how to make wine from the fruits, Allah did not mention any goodness with the wine, but He mentioned that there is good benefit, like in selling it and trading it. So Allah said about alcohol and gambling that they have great sin or harm and minor interest, might benefit. Those minor worldly benefit are little, but to feel the false feeling of power, and people, they know that this is the highest percentage of profit is through alcohol products. Of course, it is very high. And you find necessity things people do not. The profit is limited compared to the non-essential part, like alcohol, or like when you talk about cologne, people don't. The percentage of the profit is higher than it is in bread, and the same thing with alcohol, selling wine. And then Umar ibn Khattab said, when he heard this, he said, "Oh Allah, make our heart satisfied with alcohol." And Allah said, "Oh, you believe? Do not come close to the prayers when you are intoxicated, so you know what you're saying in the prayers." So you cannot be drunk when you pray, and that prevents you from drinking all day long, and you drink only at night time because people want to know what they're doing. And still Umar was not really happy yet. I need to ask Allah Azza wa Jal to show us. Some companions, they stopped immediately the alcohol, but some did not. So Allah is taking His stages in the forbidding of the alcohol. And then Allah said, oh, you believe that indeed, and Allah mentioned several things, among them is drinking alcohol. It is forbidden, stay away from, though you might be successful. Allah is saying, so saying, stay away from the want to be successful. But after that, he said, are you going to stop? They said yes. What is the alcohol? It what intoxicated the brain, and the khamr actually from the thing that cover the something like the woman, they put the khamr around their face. So anything that covers it is covered, and from it to cover the brain and make it unaware of the facts, it is intoxication. And anything that makes you intoxicant, anything that makes the brain intoxicated and makes it unaware of the surrounding, whether it is something from fruits or from the grains or from honey, whether it was processed or it came naturally, or it has different names or new with the new names, wine, gin, all these vodka and all that stuff. There is the forbidden anything that intoxicates you, and if a whole bunch of it will make you intoxicant, then it is the little bit of forbidden. Why am I saying this? Because among those who mock the Muslims and religion from the media, they say that alcohol is about the dose. Only the dose was going to make you intoxicant, but first or second or third cup is not forbidden. And someone don't. It takes more 10, then it is okay. And they, what was associated with Abu Hanifa, as if they're saying that alcohol from wine only. This is what they consider forbidden, is the wine itself, not any other thing, any other spirits. Anything that came from different fruits besides grapes, they don't consider it as khamr. But this is not accurate, this is not true. It's not even true, because Al-Bukhari, he made it very clear from Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, that it was forbidden us the alcohol when it was forbidden, and we don't find any wine, grape, except little, and the rest is from dates and grains. Of course, Al-Madinah, the main item is dates, so they used to make their wine from dates. Also, Bukhari said that Umar stood the member and he said that when it was forbidden from dates, honey, grains, and barley, and anything that intoxicates the brain, it is forbidden. Hadith Bukhari and Muslim, that every drink that's going to intoxicate you, then it is forbidden. So the view of before Islam, it was very well rooted and stayed in some of the believers. And they used to love the alcohol. From those who are tested, Abu Nawas, his name is Al-Hasan ibn Hani, and he have different poetry when he talk about alcohol. And he's just complimenting the alcohol with all different ways. Yeah. that poetry is all complementing the alcohol, uh, and he, at the end of that poetry, said that we stood at night, we are the worst group that are disobedient to Allah, and there is no proud in it. The amazing thing about this poetry, how the shaitan whispered to his he used to threaten Iblis of repenting. He said, if you help me, or I'm gonna repent to Allah. You never see me sing or drink. He said, I asked Iblis, and they told him, and I was crying, if you did not give me what I need in the love of my lover, I will not recite any poetry, I will not sing, I will never drink again, I will repent. So either you put love in the heart of the one I love, I will not drink, or I will not drink, I will not sing or say poetry. So you have to help me to put love in the heart of the one I like. Of course, Iblis will be saddened if he repented, so he threatened him of repentance, and he recited a poetry. This man repented in his last days, and he said about the past, I sadden about days that I wasted. Allah forgive me for those days that I wasted. After he died, they found him in his papers that he wrote, Oh Allah, if I have amazing sins, I know your forgiveness is greater. And only people who could come to you, closer to you, are the one who are righteous. Who is going to be for those who sins or committed mistakes? Who is going to have mercy on them? I have nothing but to forgive you, and I am a Muslim to you. And we all know that Allah Azza wa Jal have the choice either to forgive people or to punish them. We don't know know what Allah will do with anybody. It's all up to Allah Azza wa Jal. It is Allah's will if he wish to forgive him, and if he died on Murtad, he will enter paradise at the end, no matter what happens to him during that. Allahu A'lam. Ameen. So every intoxicant is alcohol, and whomever drink alcohol in this life and he did not died intoxicant, he will not drink it the hereafter. No one will drink it while he's doing it, while he's a believer. The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever died while he is drinking, Allah will give him the mud of the worst thing of the hellfire. The alcohol is cursed from everything. Anas said that the Prophet ﷺ, he cursed 10: the one who make it, who hold on it, the one who is taken to, the one who sell it, the one who make it, manufacture it, the one that is sold to. 10 times that associated with alcohol, from small, close or far. They're all cursed and cursed by the Prophet ﷺ. Mal'um means that he's out of Allah's mercy. And one of the punishment for it is to wipe someone. It was the time of Abu Bakr and the Prophet ﷺ. It was 40. and Umar increased to 80, and the companions agreed with him. They said, when you are attacked, you go away and you start saying wrong things about people. So the punishment for the one who accused people wrongfully is 80, not 40. So again, Allah said that there is a lot of punishment for the alcohol. And when they ask you what to spend, meaning al-afu, meaning like don't spend too much, that more than what is needed for your kids. And the best money you spend is money that you spend on your family. In the hadith of Abu Hurairah, someone said, "Oh, Prophet of Allah, I have 1 dinar." He said, "Spend it on yourself." He said, "I have another one." He said, "Spend it on your family." He said, "Another one." He said, "Spend it on your son." He said, "I have another one." He said, "Then you know who to spend it on." And hadith of Jabir, the Prophet said to a man, "Start with yourself and make charity on it. If there is anything extra, give it to your family, and then more than for your relatives, then spend it anywhere you want." And the best of charity what was from being rich, and the higher hand is better than the lower one. And start with whomever you support. So the best you can spend is what you spend on your family. So when they ask you about what to spend, they said it is what extra beyond your family. There is another explanation that afu is the best of money, but it is accepted that it is the person starts with himself, with his family, and those he have alimony on, and then he spend anything he wants after that. In this ayah, some of the companions, they came to the Prophet ﷺ. They said, "Oh Prophet of Allah, we have family. What do you spend on?" Allah said, "They're asking you what to spend." They said, "Al-afu, whatever is extra beyond your family." So ask Allah Azza wa Jal to give us the guidance and to give us and to make what we say for us, not against us. Shall we continue, inshallah.